Twinkle, twinkle, little star.
He's alive!
Welcome to where the weird ones are.
Every time I speak, I want the truth to come out.
Powerful figures in Hollywood as well as powerful politicians who are in fact not human. They're reptiles or they're lizards or perhaps extraterrestrials.
I don't think it is a human. I think it's a Sasquatch.
Go ahead and run. Run home and cry to mama.
Let's get weird.
Well, hello, Clarice. It's so good to see you again. Welcome, everybody, to Conspiracy Tuesday 14. This kind of was like a last-minute episode that I decided to throw together real quick due to recent events. And it's just Drewski and I. So, Drew, if you don't mind letting everybody know who the fuck you are and what you do.
Hey, good morning, guys. As you guys know, my name is Drewski. If you don't, I'm pulling this from Kevin. Now you do. That was good. Other than that, I actually run a podcast as well. It's called Cryptid Warfare and Conspiracies Podcast. You can find it on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, where all the podcasts are at too. So, and I got a team of cryptid hunters. We go out and we do investigations and hunt things if people have problems, and we have a good time. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
what we do.
You just went out with Jessica Jones like a couple weeks ago, right? How'd that go?
We're good. It went good, man. It went good. It was freaking hot, bro. We went rucking in Alabama, brother. Alabama. So, yep. Saw some things. My dumbass went running after something and didn't realize the guys weren't behind me, so I had to retreat.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so I was by myself at first. Like, where you guys at? Where you at? I was like, oh, I'm backing out. So yeah, it was good though. It was fun. It was good. Yeah, we're actually planning on going again, and actually going to be meeting up with Tony and Marco on the 16th next month, and we're going to be hanging out. We're going to be planning something too. So me, Jessica, and Tony, and all that, and the guys. So we're going to be planning something.
Nope.
Yeah. So
Is he gonna do like one of his little documentary things while he comes out, or is he just coming out for the experience?
yeah, he's coming out to hang out. He's going to get his team and my team, and Jessica's probably going to bring her team. We're gonna, I don't know, thinking about going on a dogman trip, or I was really wanting to check out like the Ozark Labs, bro.
Yeah,
So yeah,
that'd be dope. That'd be dope.
we'll see what happens though. So
Yeah. I feel you, dog. I feel you. I got a lot of shit fucking coming up too. Well, that I'm trying to do. So I'm trying to break into documentary stuff too.
dude, that'd be so cool.
Yeah, I got a camera and shit. It's not the fucking best camera, but it's better than my phone probably. I just got to figure out. So I need to get like a computer with more like RAM and more, you know, storage and shit like that. Because when you do documentaries, you're gonna have like large files of videos because you're sitting there talking to somebody, and the final product of the documentary isn't as long as all the shit you record. So
Yeah, for sure.
but there's like a lot of, so I'm doing it in my hometown. It's the freaking perfect thing because I'm already live in this town. You know what I mean? And it was last year. It was voted the most haunted town in Maine. So
Dude, that's awesome.
yeah. So I want to talk to people about experiences. I want to talk about like real life stuff too. Not that the paranormal's not real life, but like like I don't know, what they like about the town, what they don't like about the town, what experiences they've had. There's kind of like a tense thing going on right now between police and the citizens of the town right now too, where they don't feel like the police are protecting them.
Yeah.
So I want to throw that in there as well, and then talk about the history of the town
Yeah.
and just all that stuff. So, but there's a guy out there that made a documentary. He did it pretty good, but it was all like his perspective and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and get him involved with it as well. But
Oh yeah,
we'll
man,
see
for
what
sure. It
happens.
sounds like you're sitting on a gold mine, dude.
Yeah, and then the hot sauce. And freaking my hot sauce has been
Dude,
fucking breaking. I've fucking wrapped that shit so
I killed
like
it. I got to order another one.
you
Dude, it's
I gotta
so
figure out a
good.
better way to ship it because there's three times it has broken.
Oh, on the
And
shipments you send them to
yeah,
people?
during shipment, yeah, like somebody just
Oh man.
bought all three sauces and one of them broke, and they got it in a freaking Ziploc bag and shit like that. And I was like, I fucking put so much bubble wrap in that box. How is
Yeah.
it? Are they throwing it? Like I even wrote fragile on the box.
Yeah.
I'm so fucking pissed.
That sucks, bro. Especially too,
But
like it's your product and it's like it's not me, I swear. Like
yeah,
you give me hot sauce in a Ziploc. What the frick? That ain't me,
yeah,
bro. Yeah.
they delivered it with a letter too, so they did it to David too. They broke David's hot sauce,
Yeah.
and they put a letter with it saying how sorry they are. So they did it with this guy too, who actually is the sponsor of the show. I'll shout him out right now. Nelson from Flavors of the Forest,
There you
Bigfoot's
go.
Breath Garlic Dust. So yeah, he bought all three bottles. I sent them out to Oregon, and fucking one of them broke. And then he sent me a picture of it, and they have like a little letter telling him how important he is and how important his mail gets to him in one piece and blah 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 blah.
They didn't
But
put pieces, but piece?
yeah. So like, and then because of the hot sauce, like it fucked up all the labels of the other two. So I'm just gonna send them
Yeah.
all three again. Um, because
Yeah,
you
definitely.
need so he can see the ingredients. And I'm working on a fourth flavor right now, so we'll
Right
see.
on,
I'm
man.
waiting on the what the fuck the label, waiting on the label
Gotcha.
art, and then I'm gonna
Yeah,
start
that
doing one with ghost pepper.
ooh, that'd be good, man. But yeah, I
Yeah,
did that. I brought that. Actually, dude. I took that everywhere, man. I took it on the trip. I took it to work. Like I love hot sauce, man. And so yours, my wife, she actually made some ribs and I made some like fried potatoes and stuff. And I brought it in. And one of the guys on my team, oh Juice, he's like, hey homie, what do you got there? Is that some hot sauce? I'm like, yeah. He's like, oh bro, is that weird sauce that your buddy Kevin made? I was like, yeah. He's like, give me some of that. And he loved it too, man. So yeah,
nice.
bastard killed it, man. I was like, what the freak, dude? I gotta get some more. Why don't you go order your own?
That's awesome. What did you think about the flavor? Like
Dude, it was good, bro.
all
It was really
around.
good.
Okay.
Okay, I liked how it's flavorful, but then at the end it had a kick, dude. And you keep eating it, and it just that heat just keeps going. But after it steadies off, but if you're not used to it, like basically, if you're not used to hot sauce, it'll get you. So,
Yeah,
but I loved it, dude. It was good. It was really good, and
good.
it almost had like a garlicky lemon taste to it. It was good.
Good. Good.
So
That's the
I
aim.
liked it.
Good. That flavors of the forest, their garlic is in the hot sauce. So,
Yeah, I want to try like that apple next with the alien on it. What is it?
yeah. And green apple sizzle.
Green apple sizzle. Yeah, that one sounds good too, man.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be cool is that if you start, doing your own thing like with barbecuing and stuff like that, you can make your own recipe book on what these hot sauces would be good with. I don't know.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool.
Well, the big picture is opening my own restaurant. It'd be like it would just be like
Sweet.
a burger bar, you know. So like we'd have like wings, hot dogs, cheeseburgers, and like sausage subs and stuff like that.
Oh, that'd be good, man.
And pair shit with with the hot sauce.
Hell
So
yeah, you gonna make it all cryptic in there, paranormal in there? Is that going to be like the vibe or what?
Probably. I thought about calling it Where the Weird Ones Are Burger Bar, but
Dude, that'd be sweet.
I was like, it rhymes. It rhymes, but it's a really long ass fucking name.
Dude, that'd be cool too if you actually had like a little stage and you do your podcast live on Fridays or something
Yeah,
instead of
that'd be dope.
you know?
I thought about too, because there's a big fucking place down uh in the southern end of town. It used to be an ice cream shop, but it's
Yeah.
huge. And I was like, why is it an ice cream place? Why is this place for ice cream? Like, it's huge and there's barely anybody there. But they've been closed down for a few years now, and I was like, look, it's for sale. And I was looking into the windows and stuff like that the other day, and I was like, this would be like the perfect spot because it's right near the airport. And then it's like on the cusp of three towns altogether. So you got Lyman, Kennebunk, Wells, and Sanford, and then North Berwick is not too far from there too. So there's like a bunch of people that if once they hear about it, it might end up being busy. Like
Yeah.
the place that we went to last night that I was telling you about before we started recording. Like that place is out in the middle of the woods, and that place still gets packed because it's
Man, that's
good.
cool. Yeah.
So, um, but yeah, that's my plans. Hopefully, you know, I would like I'm more like the documentary stuff will be cool, but I'm more like geared to having the hot sauce take off because I don't know. I'm pretty sick of fucking working 3 a.m. to 3 p.m. every day.
Dude.
So
Yeah. I'm tired of being on that grind too, man. I hear you,
yeah,
dude. Yeah, I'm trying to
yeah.
do a business venture too. Probably gonna be getting my LLC here in the next month, but it's gonna be called CW Operations and Supplies. So anytime we go out on a hunt, dude, I get hit up all the time. Hey, can I go? Can I go? I'll pay you. So I'm gonna be charging people basically, and it'll be like a
Oh,
three
nice.
tier thing. So almost kind of like a safari almost. So we'll go to these hot spots, and and then you basically just paying for the experience. And I'm also going to be making prep bags, so I always have bags prepped and ready to go, and then we could basically put them on for like whatever operation you're going on. Hunting Bigfoot, hunting dogmen, we can put like casting stuff in there, stuff like that, and then eventually have a building to where I can have classes on bringing people like you or Jessica Jones how to teach different things, whatever, whatnot. And
Mm-hmm.
then we have a shooting range out there, and then stuff like that. So I don't know, almost like a Blackwater for cryptids, Blackwater thing for cryptids. So
That's not a
I don't
bad
know.
idea, man. That's not a bad idea. I like that. Because
So
I want to go with you. I just wish I lived closer. That's
I
all.
wish you lived closer to. I wish I lived closer to you, dude. Because every single time, man, we're out. We're like, man, I sure wish Kevin was here. No joke. Yeah, me and Jessica were talking about that. Like, man, dude, I wish Kevin was here, Tommy, and a couple other people. Like, man, one of these days, man, we'll do it for
One
sure.
day. It'll
Yeah,
happen. It'll happen one day for sure. I hope so. Um, yeah. Anyways, so
yeah,
the reason why we have gathered here today, my beloveds, no. But yeah, so I wanted to talk about, the recent events, um, dealing with Trump's attempted assassination. But I wanted to get into this real quick. So I have a list here of attempted and actual carried out assassinations throughout history. So it's just going to be real quick. I'll fire them off. So January 30th, 1835, Richard Lawrence attempts to shoot President Andrew Jackson at the Capitol. Both of his pistols misfire, so he didn't kill him. But when you look into the reason why anybody would want to assassinate Andrew Jackson, dude was a dick. He was a slave owner, and he put out that he's the reason that the scalping of natives was popularized. You know what I mean? If you remember that at all through history class. But then in April 14th, 1865, Abraham Lincoln was murdered by John Wilkes Booth. Did you know that John Wilkes Booth brother, his brother, actually saved um, Abraham Lincoln's son from getting hit by a train, like
No, I did not. That's a
like a
small world.
year or two, or not, maybe not his son. Maybe it was Abraham Lincoln. It was actually Abraham Lincoln when he was young, or something. It was like a
Mm.
few years or prior, or something. It had something to do with Abraham Lincoln, but John's brother saved somebody that's either related somehow to Abraham Lincoln,
That's a
which
trip,
is
dude.
really interesting. I wish I actually looked into those facts so I could give you them straight instead of speculating. But either way, that was an interesting tie-in to that. Just to be murdered later on by the same guy's brother. And obviously, he was a Confederate sympathizer. So they actually tried to he was a part of a group, and they wanted to kill like a bunch of delegates, um, in the Conservative Party for in the name of the Confederate Army, the Confederate side. Um, July 2nd, 1881, President James Garfield is shot by Charles J. Guteau, um, at a train station in Washington. He died several months later in September, so he's shot in July. He could have been saved, but if like medical stuff was, like it is today, he would have lived, but he ended up suffering, um, dying in September due to his injuries. Um, September 6th, 1901, President William McKinley is shot by Leon fucking A. The names is the only
I thought
issue
that
that
was
I
his
have
name.
here. Yeah,
Leon.
Leon.
F and A.
It's Leon Zolgosz. Zolgosz. I don't know. It's Czolgosz.
Yabos, no.
um, and then he died, and then President McKinley died 8 days after of gangrene. So again, of the times, probably could have been, probably could have lived, but he had a really bad staph infection. October 14th, 1912, Theodore Roosevelt was shot and wounded by John Schrank while campaigning in Milwaukee. And so he was like about to give this speech, right? He has his paper in his hand. He gets shot in the chest. The
And he
bullet
does
goes
it.
through. The bullet goes through his fucking speech paper, and he still addresses his delegates. Like he still makes his speech even with a hole in his chest.
Mm-hmm. That
And
dude.
he lived. He was actually what's cool. You know how they made the movie, Abraham Lincoln, Abraham Fire, fucking whatever, Vampire Hunter with Abraham
Mm-hmm.
Lincoln. They should
Yeah.
make a Monster Hunter with Theodore Roosevelt because
I
he
know how he
was
came
out
across
there fucking
Sasquatch.
cryptid. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Um, February 15th, 1933, Giuseppe Zagara attempts to shoot President-elect FDR in Miami. His first shot misses, and during the struggle, he fires several shots, killing Chicago Mayor Anton Cermak. Which, conspiracy-wise, I think Anton Cermak was the actual target, to be honest. And I think it was done in a way to make it look like he was going after the president, but who knows for sure. But you look into the situation, and it gets pretty interesting. September 8th, 1935, Huey P. Long, a senator for Louisiana who was expecting to run for president in 1936. Carl Weiss shoots at Long, but many believe he was killed by return fire. So they think that his security team, when they returned fire on Carl, that they shot him, shot fucking Huey Long.
Huey Long.
And then November 1st, 1950, Puerto Rican nationalists try to kill President Harry Truman. But they were unsuccessful. It was actually foiled. And they were both arrested, and then they both were sentenced to death. And then the death sentence was carried out. But the men were Oscar Collazo and Gracilio Torresella. Man, sometimes I wish I was Spanish so I could do like that Spanish flair on these names.
The R, yeah.
Yeah.
Gonzalez.
Yeah. I like that shit.
I'm
Especially
the
Latino women when they speak, man.
Oh yeah, yeah. Also when they get mad. Ugh, I'm married to one.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot.
Yeah, she gets mad. Throws up that knife. Easy, easy, easy. Somehow, I
We'll
think
move
this is
together.
hot.
All right. November 22nd in 1963, we all know.
Yes, good.
Oh wait, I skipped one. December 11th, 1960, Richard Paul Pavlik attempts to crash and blow up Kennedy so he was going to crash into Kennedy's car in 1960 and blow up his car, but he said when he saw that he had his wife and kids with him that he changed his mind, and because he was being investigated for um wanting to do this, I guess basically is he was charged.
Yeah.
So he was arrested and put away. But with that, we get into like MK Ultra. Like he wanted to carry this out, and sometimes people like break out of their mind control shit. So there's a story there with that. Which I might do an episode on not only just JFK but the Kennedys in a whole. So I just got to do a little more digging. I know a lot of the surface stuff, but yeah, and then November 22nd, 1963, Kennedy was killed by supposedly Lee Harvey Oswald. And I think everybody at this point knows that whole story for the most part.
Yeah.
June 5th, 1968, presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy, the brother of JFK, is shot and killed by Saran in the kitchen of the Ambassador Hotel. And who watched this murder happen? RFK. The RFK Jr. Sorry. So, who is running for president right now and has no Secret Service. The only presidential candidate who has been denied Secret Service, which is really interesting. March 15th, 1972, Arthur Bremer shoots candidate George Wallace and paralyzes him. February 22nd, 1974, Samuel Bike hijacks a DC-9 with intentions to crash into the White House to kill Nixon. Obviously, he did not do so. September 5th, 1975, Lynette Fromm, a supporter of Charles Manson, tries to shoot Gerald Ford, but her gun misfires. And then, just a couple weeks later, September 22nd, 1975, Sarah Jane Moore shoots at Ford and misses. So these ladies really wanted to get to Ford, but just could not do it. March 30th, 1981, John Hinckley Jr. shoots Reagan. And then Reagan survives. He did a speech probably not too long after, and a balloon pops. And he didn't flinch, nothing. He just goes, "You missed me." And then 1993, a plot to blow up Bush Sr. by car bomb was failed in Kuwait. The assassins were employed by Saddam Hussein. And then supposedly on November 11th, 2011, there were pipe bombs mailed to Obama, Biden, and Hillary Clinton, but none of them went off. But, I can't find a whole lot of information on that one, so I don't know if that one's actually real.
Me, it sounds like they want to be a part of the cool kids club.
Yeah. And then, just recently, Trump life had been attempted on, and an innocent bystander ended up taking the bullet instead, which I think is the worst part about it, And I think the worst part about another aspect is not only did this family lose their husband, their father, their brother, their uncle, you have people online saying, good, he deserved to die because he was a Trump supporter and stuff. So, like, their family is seeing shit like this all over the internet. And I think it's despicable. People, I don't know. I don't wish death on anybody, and for somebody to do so, like, I don't care if you disagree with me or anything like that. I'll never wish death on you. I mean, it just, unless you're a pedophile. Pedophiles are
Agreed.
probably the only people that I would ever wish death on. So,
Yeah, agreed.
but yeah, that day has, a lot of shit going on with it. And Drew being a former police officer, he has some insights on how that tactically that day kind of like went awry. So, Drew, if you want to get into that.
Yeah, for sure, man. Also, too, going back to that guy who was a firefighter. What's really cool though is that the community is really coming together, and somebody started a GoFundMe page for him. It's over $3 million right now.
Damn, son.
Yeah, and Trump put in $1 million.
Of course he did. That makes sense.
And there's a lot of people just putting money in,
Yeah,
basically just to help out the family. So
yeah, good,
that was
good.
really cool.
So I wanted to read this too, actually, before you get started.
Yeah, go ahead.
So Allison Compertor is the daughter of the firefighter, and she posted this on Facebook. She said, yesterday time stopped, and when it started again, my family and I started living a real-life nightmare. What was supposed to be an exciting day that we had all looked forward to, especially my dad, turned into the most traumatizing experience someone could imagine. I know the media will cover this event, and I'm going to try my best to stay away from looking at everything, especially because I've already seen and lived through it in real time. But I want everyone to know what the media will not cover and will not say about him. He was the best dad a girl could ever ask for. My sister and I never needed for anything. You call, he would answer, and he would do whatever it is you needed. And if he didn't know how, he would figure it out. He could talk and make friends with anyone, which he was doing all day yesterday and loved every minute of it. He was a man of God, loved Jesus fiercely, and also looked after our church and our members as family. The media will not tell you that he died a real-life superhero. They are not going to tell you how quickly he threw my mom and I to the ground. They are not going to tell you that he shielded my body from the bullet that came at us. He loved his family. He truly loved us enough to take a real bullet for us. And I want nothing more than to cry on him and tell him thank you. I want nothing more than to wake up and for this not to be reality for me and my family. We lost a selfless, loving husband. Why won't this go to the next one? You're fucking me up.
The moment's crashing. Oh man.
Yeah. We fucking A, man. All right, so we lost a selfless, loving husband, father, brother, uncle, son, and friend. And I will never stop thinking about him and mourning over him until the day that I die too. July 13th will forever be a day that changed my life. I will never be the same person I was less than 24 hours ago. There are a lot of children out there that say their dad is their hero, but my dad really is mine. I don't think I would be here today without him. Dad, I love you so much, and there aren't enough words to express how deep that love goes. I know you'll give heaven some hell. I know that God is proud of the man that came to his gates yesterday. And then there's a couple pictures of him doing things that he loves, and he just had celebrated a 50th birthday not too long ago. So, yeah.
Damn. Yeah. Well, cheers to that, man. May he rest in peace. And reminds me of that Bible verse too. No greater love is for any man who would die for his friends. So, especially his family. And he definitely put that in action. And yeah, cheers to that, man. So, yeah, prayers for his
Yep,
family for sure. Um,
absolutely.
so I guess you want me to start?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So first off, I'm just gonna throw it out here. For those of you guys who don't know me, I'm just gonna lay a little bit out of like my experience of life real quick. Anyways, like my experience, I was actually in law enforcement for under a decade. I served on SWAT for about 5 years, about 5, 6 years, and then for 13 years, I actually did protective security and security detail. When I was on SWAT, also too when I moved down here to Tennessee, I did a lot of protective security for executives, VIPs, the governor. Here in Murphy's, here in Tennessee, almost blew it. Here in Tennessee, I've actually did it for the mayor, and yeah. So, and I'm on a security team, but it's for volunteer now. But yeah, leading to that. So that is my experience on that, and I'm going to talk about like the tactics and procedures on what should have happened and what went wrong with the whole Secret Service aspect and police aspect. Also, too, two of the guys that actually go to our church, they have a headquarters here in Nashville for the Secret Service, and one of the guys was on security, so we're hearing this firsthand on what went wrong, literally from the horse's mouth. So, but you guys can take it or leave it. But also, too, you know how the government is and the political views. They also have their own agenda. So, a lot of that's to me is BS too. But the whole thing that happened, it was just total BS. But is my opinion. But he explains it really good. And yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and talk about it. But also, too, going back to that shooting as well. For those of you guys who shoot and all that, there's always a saying that you got to understand. It's your target's threats, backstop, and what's beyond that. And that was a perfect example because the target was Trump, the threats were the snipers, the backstop were the people, and what was beyond that firefighter who got hit. So, like I said, those bullets have to stop somewhere, guys. And sad thing is, people just get caught in the crossfire, like those two that were injured and that firefighter who died. So, yeah. All right, so we're gonna get into this. Okay, so basically, on when you're running security detail on somebody, the first thing you start with is what you call protective intelligence, right? You're basically building the packet on where you're going, and from what I understood, that they had a week, prior to that on building like that package on the protective intelligence. So that's even before like the mission starts. The mission is when Trump gets there, they're protecting him, and you're basically planning out the area, and you're looking for potential threats, personal threats, people and personal targets, stuff like that, and that way you build basically protective intelligence and zones and stuff like that. For also, you're basically trying to think like a criminal. You're trying to think of like, how would I kill this dude, right? So that's basically on what you're doing. And you're basically looking for like pinch points, sites and stuff like that, and like high advantage points, which they fumbled the ball on. All right. And then you go do an advance is what it is. So an advance is basically kind of like a walkthrough right after that. And I will tell you right now, with like I said, with the whole inside information, there was not an advance done at all, which is a walkthrough of everything and looking at. They just went there, looked at it. Yeah, we're good. So they just planned like an aerial view around it. So they didn't do we call them zones, right? You have your inner circle, you got your mid circle, and your outer circle. Well, they hit the inner circle and the mid circle, but they didn't hit the perimeter. So that's where they screwed up on. So anyway, so with the whole potential advantage on that totally kicked their butt in the long run. And for example, we had that shooting. So with this information I got from our friend that is in the Secret Service, so basically what the inside information, he said that due to the personal, financial, and time constraints, okay, this is the reason why that they didn't have time to do their TTPs, which is tactical and, basically procedures and whatnot. So they didn't have enough time. They didn't have enough support due to financial, due to the whole financial and budgets and all that. So also too, let me see on my notes here real quick. So due to financial constraints and time constraints as well. All right. And this is what happens when you dumb down an agency, in my opinion. When you dumb down the military, when you dumb down the law enforcement, planning goes out the freaking wazoo. You're not crossing your T's, you're not freaking dotting your I's, and you're not planning accordingly. And also too, when you cut budgets, right, it's like you're basically pulling from like the bottom of the barrel. And also in reality, that has consequences. So this was a perfect example of those consequences. But also too, through the Trump, I'm going to give something for the whole Trump detail, right? They did request help and support, but not specifically for this event attire. But they have been, and in the past, but they are also denied each time in the past as well. And this is where you get your conspiracy, in my opinion. And not only that, there's also a lot of people who want to see Trump go down, unfortunately, in the politics, in the government, because they know that he's going to expose some things and whatnot. But if he does, and also too, there's a thing called like succession, right? When it comes to budgets in the government, when it comes to Secret Service. So Trump is not in a line of succession right now. So the majority of the resources for Secret Service, they go to those who are in succession, like the president, the current president, vice president, people in the government, etc., like that. And so the people who are not in successions, they don't have enough support. And like I said, they did request support, but the only thing that they got was eventually, also too, they did get support when they realized that, hey, you have a group of people over here that are just standing around. So it was basically kind of like how do you put it? It was almost kind of like the worst of the worst when it comes to the Secret Services. So you have your core guys that are basically the stage guys, right? They're basically acting like body bunkers. You've seen that when he started shooting. Their whole goal is they're the guys who wear the suits. They have body armor underneath. So they basically jump on Trump and act like a body bunker. So when rounds hit, they're just taking rounds instead of Trump, okay? That is his protective security detail. The outer ones is which they requested for, is where you see that girl who's not fit, who's out of shape, who's trying to put her gun in her holster, who basically looked like a fool out there. But but I'm not going to down her on that, because to me, she wasn't squared away. But to me, that is not against her. That to me, that's against like the Secret Service because they've
Yeah.
actually dumbed down their standards, their hiring standards, their training processes, and all that, their fitness standards. But to me, she was not a part of the big Trump detail, but she was just a part of the support team, like I said. And with going into that too, you have like your cat team, which is your counter assault team. Those are the two guys you see in black that are all kitted out. They look like SWAT, right? Okay.
Yep.
And the guys in multicam, they're actually the Pennsylvania State SWAT team. So they're helping out. And also too, this is the first time that when Trump asked for support, they actually provided 2 additional snipers. Because in reality, you just have your one set of snipers, which is your sniper and your freaking lookout, or vice versa. But both of them had, rifles and stuff ready to go. But that was just the only ones you've seen. But there was another building next to it on the opposite side of where Trump was at. They actually had 2 other snipers as well. So, and not only that, it was a slow evacuation on getting him out. They were just covering Trump, like I said, because as soon as they know he's getting shot at, they're basically jumping on him on like a body bunker. But the reason why they didn't want to get up is because, for one, if you listen closely, the communications and comms, they didn't say shooter was down until 15 seconds after that. But also, too, they didn't want to get up either, is because they know that as soon as they get up, Trump's going to be exposed.
Exposed, yeah.
Exactly, yeah. And they didn't want that to happen. So they wanted to sit there until they got on comms, hey, threats eliminated. They also wanted to wait because if there was a secondary shooter as well. So that's why, like I said, that's why it was a slow evacuation. And not only that, too, doing protective custody and stuff. If you heard Trump, he says, hey, hold on, guys. Let me get my shoes. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Okay. So, so basically, as a protective security detail guy, your job is basically just to be with that VIP wherever he goes. You basically do life with him. As soon as something happens, your questions, your wants, your commands are out the door, okay? You're in my world now. So as soon as he asks for his shoes, nope. Go. Let's go. So to me, as a guy like who's done this stuff, if the guy's like, I need to get my shoes, F your shoes, we're moving. You can get those later. Let's go. So as
They
soon as
let him
shooting
put
happens,
his shoes on.
Yes. But the only reason why he did that is because they had confirmation, that the threat was down,
Right.
KIA.
Right.
So, but if it wasn't, they would have been like, screw your shoes, bro. But other than that, let's see. Like I said, due to they didn't have So anyways, so going to their going back up to their whole planning out, right? They totally fumbled the ball. They should have freaking had another spotter team on top of that roof. I don't know what the freak they were thinking. And another thing that they screwed up on was that an hour before the shooting, they seen crooks walking around those buildings looking up, and he also prepped before that. If you see a guy with the freaking rangefinder seeing how far the president is, dude, that should totally. He was carrying a backpack, which they found after they shot him, that was full of freaking remote IED explosives connected to his car that had explosives. So I believe that was actually towards the crowd as well, if he had like enough prep and timing and all that. Dude, they totally fumbled the ball on that. Like, to me, it was just like, are we living in a Matrix or what?
Yeah.
Like their whole
The
whole thing, man, is just what the freak.
Yeah, that guy was like, he had the frickin' visor hat, the Make America Great Again visor hat with like a fake mullet on his head, talking to the press. He's like, we were fucking telling the cops that there was a guy with a gun on the roof, and they were just like looking at the roof, like not doing anything.
Yeah, but also
So.
too, what I heard was, well, from this certain source, was that Pennsylvania police one guy did go up the ladder. And the shooter turned and pointed his AR at him. That dude dropped, just jumped off. So at that time, he spun, got in prone position, and at the same time, their snipers were watching this dude.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, you have him dead to rights. He's pointing a gun. He's, not only that too, you should have just clocked him off right off the bat. So, no shade to that cop who went up there and got in that crappy position with this pistol and realized there was an AR pointed at his face. I don't blame him.
Yeah.
Of course, he didn't want to get to cover, but to me, shame on the freaking Secret Service for not taking him out right away. And not only that, if you see a guy with the rangefinder, dude, question him, check his bag, do what you need to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was his name? Jonathan Willis, the guy that was that's in the picture behind Trump.
Yeah.
You know, he got fired. He got fired. And he said that he didn't get confirmation order to take the shot, which is why he didn't shoot. He was waiting for
Confirmation.
confirmation from Secret Service, and Secret Service wasn't giving it to him.
Yeah, and to me, that's where, and that's why I heard as well. He didn't receive any confirmation at all, and that's why he sat there for so long.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm glad he put it out there, because we would just think that this guy fucking just didn't take the shot. You know what I mean? But that's if he's being truthful too.
That's true. He could be covering his ass too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It may not make him look bad, but
yeah.
But to me, with those guys who are on CAT and who are on Secret Service, like especially like the echelon, like your SWAT, like your snipers and stuff, they pull those guys from like SWAT. They pull those guys from Special Forces. Tier 1 guys. They pull those guys, and to me, those guys are the cream of the crop, man. But I don't know. I wasn't there, but and not in the communication and comms and stuff. But I would like to think that he didn't get confirmation. But still, dude, to me, fire me. I don't care.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take that shot. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But but going back to real quick, and then I'll let you take over. But on the breakdown of that weapon he had, the shooter, it was a standard AR-15, but he had like an EOTech. So what it is like, I brought this for Peter actually. He actually had a reticle on it, so which is a red dot right here. This only goes, if you're a good shooter, you can reach out to about 100 yards, okay? And we all know how far the distance was. It was basically about, let me pull it up. Oh, what did it say? Oh, God, where's it at? Where are my notes? It said it was like approximately around like 400 feet. So, but with the red dot, I mean, him clipping his head, dude, that's a damn good shot. And especially with the pressure you're under, like, hey, the cop just spotted me. I got to get going on this. Lays down, gets prone real quick, knowing snipers are watching his butt, and then popping off that shot. To me, that was a whole miracle. Like, God just turned his head, dude. Nicked his ear. And then that guy followed up with 5 more shots. Like, to me, that's unacceptable. Having follow-up shots like that. As soon as you took that first shot, dude, like, I don't know, man. They should have just took him out ASAP, quick.
Yep.
He
shouldn't. First of all, he should have never been able to get even on the roof to begin with. Like that,
100%.
like you said, that was on the perimeter. Like that was an area that should have been covered to begin with.
Yep.
There should have been, Secret Service on that roof already before he even got up there. So the fact that he was able to get up there, the fact that he's walking around trying to scope out a range for where Trump is, says to me this was, it was planned. And we don't know for sure if he's the one that actually took the shots, to be honest with you. I mean,
I also heard like the water tower, someone up in the water tower.
Yeah. So it gets interesting because you talk about JFK, like the way the trajectory of the bullets don't coincide with where Lee Harvey Oswald was said to have taken the shots from. And I don't know. And we never saw a body. How do we know that was actually, this Crooks kid? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's in videos and stuff that I've seen of him on college campuses and shit like that. He's radical left, obviously.
Very, yeah.
And everybody's like, oh, he was a Republican. I was like,
yeah, but he didn't vote for Trump. He voted for the lady.
Yeah. So
I forgot her name.
He can't be fucking Nikki Haley.
Yeah.
This guy, Dude, there's videos of him just flipping out talking about how he wants to kill conservatives all the time. That he thinks all conservatives should die and this and that. Um, I want to know who trained him on how to shoot. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
right. Well, yeah, because also heard he failed like the rifle team in high school
Yeah.
miserably.
So how did he pull that off? You know,
Yeah,
first of
especially in
all.
that amount of time. Yeah,
And then there's a conspiracy that, the whole thing was, fake. It was a ruse. It's
yeah.
it's
It was a show.
false flag kind of thing.
Yeah,
And I'm like, I don't know, like, because I'm definitely, obviously, I'm a conspiracy person. Like, I search for the conspiracy and shit like this. Um, but the fact that, like, he, like, literally, he's sitting there like this, and then he just, like, the second he
the
did that,
second dude.
the shot goes off. Like, I don't know. If I was to put on a ruse like that, I don't think I would allow that closeness of a fucking shot to my fucking head, to
Seriously.
be honest with you.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And then he drops to the ground. Obviously, like you said, he is covered and stuff like that. He gets up and he's bleeding from his ear. And now people have pictures of him and stuff like that. And I love the conspiracy community and everything, don't get me wrong, but I think they go a little crazy with some
go a little too
things.
far. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Like they
yeah, I
take
agree. Well, yeah. Well, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, so there's pictures of him after he stands up. He's bleeding. They're like, why isn't there blood in his hair? I was like, his fucking hat was on when he got shot. Like you look at his hat, it goes freaking like right behind his ear when he wears it.
Yeah. Not only
So
that, all it did was just nick the ear. That was it.
yeah,
So
it wasn't gonna splatter and fucking bleed profuse. It's gonna fucking drip down, not
yep,
fucking go fucking into his hair.
gushing out. Yeah.
But and then there's the lady in the black hat when in the tank top that behind him.
FBI. Such as
Yeah,
FBI. Yeah.
yeah, that's what they're saying. And also another thing, how many times do we hear from the FBI a shooter was on their radar and then they carry out this crazy ass fucking shooting? You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
you got the school shootings and the one in Buffalo at the supermarket and shit like that. FBI's like, oh, they were on our radar. Like, why aren't like
Don't
they're
do
on
anything
your
about it.
radar, but what are you doing about it?
We'll look into it. That's all you hear. That's all you
Yeah.
hear.
I'm like, what the fuck? So this guy was being looked at by the FBI, obviously, for the videos that are out there of him talking about killing conservatives. Like that's
Yeah.
the reason that he was on there. But I think what I think is that they want Trump dead. Like, so you
They
go,
do.
and so I'll play this video. Let me see if you can hear it first. Um, say what you want about Alex Jones, but there's a lot of things that he gets right.
I love Alex Jones. Aliens everywhere.
Can you hear that?
No.
Where's my speaker at?
This is a maximum alert concerning the future of our
I got it.
country, our republic,
I hear it. Yeah.
and the world. The Secret Service stood down. It is the default to have Secret Service and or law enforcement on every rooftop up to a half mile out or further. Those rooftops were 450 feet away. No one was on the rooftops. That is not a failure of security. That is a stand down. Now, let's be clear. JFK gave the order to start the withdrawal of U.S. troops, and 1 month later had his head blown off in Dallas, Texas in 1963 at Dealey Plaza. Trump has said he will end the war in Ukraine overnight. The U.S. funds 80% of it. He has that power when he's president of the United States. Told you this week over and over again that they're going to try to assassinate him before the election, and then during the 79 days that he's president-elect, until he gets sworn in January of 2025, is the 79 days of hell. The globalists have already said they're going to have civil unrest. They're going to call it a racial civil war. So let's be clear. Trump will now win in a landslide, no amount of fraud, no this. So if the deep state has already tried to kill him and indicted him and found him guilty and tried to take him off the ballot, what are they going to do? They are going to try to kill Trump. Now, listen to me carefully. Study the enemy. My predictions are 98% of the time accurate. I'm saying this so we can be ahead of this and stop it. The next thing they're going to do is try to poison him. They claim it's natural causes. They're extremely, extremely vigilant. They'll also try to use truck bomb. And if he goes back out in public, the same Secret Service that stood down is going to do it again. Now, the average Secret Service agent is part of this, but it's from the top, from the Biden administration, just by only giving him a few Secret Service, that would happen. The fact that they didn't have law enforcement that augments them on the rooftops is just insane. That's the number one place that shooters come from is nearby rooftops. That's just a default fact. Ladies and gentlemen, they also haven't given RFK Jr. any Secret Service. They murdered his uncle and his father. The same deep state. So, Trump is at maximum danger of poisoning, truck bombs, the global spy hijack a plane by remote control flight into Mar-a-Lago. I'm not being alarmist. I know Trump's tough and has wise part of his things. But Trump should be in a bunker at this point, and he should directly be charging the deep state for what they've done.
Well, that's basically the gist of it, and then he goes on to just talk about protecting and people that should probably think about being protected and stuff like that. You know, when it comes to stuff like this, I tend to kind of like take Alex Jones a little seriously. When it's aliens and stuff, I'm just like, all right, dude. But he's been, like he said, 98% accurate.
Yeah.
July, I think it was July 22nd, 2001. He said that there is going to be a terrorist threat coming to the soil of America, and they're probably going to take out the World Trade Center.
9/11.
9/11. So, and
what if he's a time traveler? There's a conspiracy for you. But you know what? I'm not gonna lie. I totally agree with him on that. Like, Trump's a big threat, and I think, yeah, he's right on that. They're probably going to poison him. And to me, Trump doesn't need the Secret Service. He needs outside people, patriots, ex-military guys. People who take it seriously, because the whole thing's a big melting pot of just treachery, a whole melting pot of just, snakes, bro. And they're all controlled. Dude. They're all controlled by, by Biden and the administration and the elites, that want Trump dead. And yeah, I agree. He doesn't need Secret Service detail. He needs other people to do it, because he's got too many threats on him, dude.
Too many threats. Too many. And it does it. And then I don't really get the death wishing on him. Like, what is he doing that is so bad for like the normal the normal fucking snowflake? Like, why is it so bad to have him in the running? Why do they hate him so much? You know what I mean? Is it because of what the media says, or is there like actual validity to it, like that they're scared to have him in there for certain reasons?
I think I call it fear porn, but also too, I'm gonna go a little spiritual on this one. I really think that it's a big heart problem, and a lot of these people are guided in the wrong way and influenced by other entities, like, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know, man, like, just what he stands for, mainly conservative issues, kind of godly issues. And it's like it says in scripture, the world will hate you, but remember, first hated me first. And with from what I've seen with Trump, he never says, I'm going off another topic here, but anyways, but what he stands for, pretty conservative, man. And to me, a lot of those people out there on the West Coast and stuff like that, they're just bombarded with crappy news, bro, fear porn, all that stuff, to make them look like the bad guy. There's no ifs, ands, or buts, to change their mind. The only way I can see them getting their mind changed is that God forbid anything ever happens to us in America, like let's say like we get attacked, right? And then Trump's president and we initial war and everyone's got to come together to fight for America. That'd be the only way I can see people with different viewpoints and stuff come together and realize, okay, this guy's our president. He is looking out for us, you know. Other
Yeah.
than that, yeah, I think it's just that indoctrination of fear porn and just bad information, dude. Bad
That
information.
I think I also think because most of the majority of, the left are not godly. Like they're not Christian
Exactly.
and
Yep.
stuff like that. So not saying that's a bad thing. If you don't believe in God, that's your right to do so. Um but like what it is that they think because you believe in God that you hate them. So like what is it, the sins, like God is against homosexuality or whatever, like he doesn't, like that is supposedly a sin, um, and all
Yeah.
that. And so they're like, you believe in a God that doesn't love me, and it's no, he loves you. You're just a sinner. Like that's it. Like we're all sinners in our own
Mm-hmm.
ways, but people assume because you're Christian, you hate them because of what the Bible says, and it's not that way at all. I mean, maybe there's some, radical, church followers that, do believe it that way, that they do hate you because of your lifestyle. I'm sure there are, but the majority of, the people in the conservative party, a lot of them aren't Christians. A lot of them just believe in, their amendments, their rights, the Constitution and stuff like that, and they just want that upheld. Um, but like they don't hate you because of your lifestyle or what you choose to do with your life. They still love you and they still want you to have a life. They don't wish death on you. They don't want you to they don't want you to fuck, I forget where I was going. But they they don't they're just telling you
They want the
that,
best for you.
yeah, they're just telling you what the Bible is telling them about your decisions. That's all. And they're not
Yeah.
they're just like, I see it so many times, these videos of these preachers out on the street preachers, and people literally just getting in their face and like assaulting them and stuff like that just for quoting Bible verses and stuff like that. And I see them too. They're like, I don't hate you, I love you, but you are a sinner in the eyes of the Lord. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
he's like, I care.
Yeah.
They're like, I care about you, and I don't know. It's just that I feel like they all think that they're hated, and that puts hate in their heart. They're supposed to be, the inclusive, empathical fucking side supposedly, but yet there are so many videos on TikTok talking about how they're happy that a conservative lost their life that day, and it's absolutely foul to me. But I have this video too. I meant to save it, so I just found it on TikTok real quick, of a prophecy from 2007. So let's listen to it. The White House. Never say he is ungodly. He does not know God. But even as Jesus disguised himself, what a great feast disguise this man's heart. And when he comes to the White House, let him should praise of him in his little cave in the White House. Is it this? That's not exactly the one that I was. It's the same guy.
What's funny is you mention all this too, with the whole like love of people and all that. I do 100% agree with you, Kevin.
Yeah.
Whenever you bring up Jesus and you mention God and stuff, for people who aren't in tune with that and people who don't have a relationship with Him, they get very hostile. You can bring up Buddha, you can bring up Muhammad, you can bring up all these other different little G's, in my opinion, and nobody cares. As soon as
Yeah.
you bring up Jesus, dude, everybody gets hostile, because to me, it's the Holy Spirit convicting those people, and they don't want to look at themselves and realize, holy crap, like there is something wrong with me, or holy crap, like I do need what I'm saying, they're just
Yeah.
basically just getting convicted. And also reminds me of Lord. Oh, never mind, I lost it. Dang it, I hate
But
when that
no, real
happens.
quick, that in that prophecy, I don't know why it's not in that video, but he says Trump and he says assassination attempt in that prophecy before he goes into that whole spiel about how he'll do another 2 terms
Yeah.
and pray like in the RNC at the RNC there convention.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was praying.
Yep.
God was ever more present than ever before that I've seen in my lifetime. So that was pretty interesting. Also, have you ever seen the movie Sum of All Fears?
Yes, I am.
Do you know what happens in said movie?
Keep going. Sorry, I'm trying to look at something. Go ahead and keep
Okay.
going.
So in Sum of All Fears, the president in that movie, his life is attempted on by assassination, and it's unsuccessful. And then he finds out that there are other people behind the attempt. So like the guy that
Big old coup.
a little coup, little conspiracy of people, doing this. And he finds out who they are. He finds out that the shooter was a patsy. And then what does he do? He murders all of the people that were involved. Maybe not. I can't remember if it was by specifically his hand, but he has them taken out. At the end of said movie, there is a during the credits, there's a opera song that plays. No, nothing. And I wish I friggin' downloaded this song so I could play it for you guys. And then at the RNC convention, everybody comes up. They're talking about Trump, about how he loves music. Trump picks the playlist on all this stuff. You know, he's always in control of the music. When he,
Also love
when
when he
he's doing
dances
stuff.
too.
And then, yeah.
Skiing.
And so he gives his, big speech. His speech went on for like an hour, first of all. At the end of his speech, there's a song that plays, and you'd think that it would be like Star Spangled Banner, something American, or Americana.
America.
But he plays this opera song that played at the end of Summer of All Fears. Now, is there something to that? Maybe, maybe not. Does he know that there was a bigger plot here? Is that what he's saying? Is that what he's nodding to? Or was it just a simple fact that the attempt was made and was failed, and that's what happened in that movie? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We also found out the other day that Biden is falling out of the race.
Yep.
He's not running for president.
Also, yeah, I heard too. He volunteered to step down, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He got COVID for the 100th time. But they're probably having a hard time growing his new clone.
Yep.
So.
Oh man, that'd be another good one to talk about too.
But yeah, so what does everybody think about, this whole thing? Was it just, a guy that just was upset and wanted to kill Trump? Was Secret Service in on it? That's what I believe. Secret Service was in on it. I think that somebody either put this guy up to it, or they staged him and had another shooter, and you know, and then he's killed. First, and nobody's seen his body. So who knows if that was really Crooks. There's a lot of things to think about. I do think our there's a lot at stake here for the future of the nation, and I think we need to choose wisely and we need to think about it. There's a lot of people that are saying that Trump is, demonic and stuff, which I believe for a little while. Being into conspiracies and following conspiracies and stuff like that. Now, I will say this. It is said in Revelation that the Antichrist will be the most loved by everyone. And that's not just a group of people. That's unanimously among all people. Whether religion, race, ethnicity, whatever, creed, whatever. All will love this man. And I will say something to ponder on. You know who everybody loves right now? Unanimously? Mr. Beast. And his name is Beast, out of all names. So he's very generous and stuff. Not saying he is, not saying that at all, but I just thought it was something to think about. Because there's a lot of rhetoric out there saying that Trump is the Antichrist and that he's going to bring the end of the world. And I don't believe that anymore. I kind of did for a little while. Even though I'm conservative, I don't agree with anybody who's red. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not like
whatever you say, man. Whatever you say, brother.
Yeah,
Same here.
red no matter what. Red no matter
Red
what.
or
Like
dead.
Democrats are like blue no matter who. And it's like, dude, you got to look not all, just because they're Democrat doesn't mean all their policies align with each other. So
Exactly.
that's why you have them running against each other to figure out who their candidate's gonna be, because they don't agree on everything, guys. Hello, McFly.
Also, too, throwing something out there too. It talks about it. Oh gosh, so Matthew 24, Mark 20, Luke 21, Revelation 16, 2 Thessalonians, and then in Daniel and Ezekiel. There is a timeline. There is a structure. Things have to go by before the end, right? Before the Antichrist. The Antichrist meets a certain criteria, and Trump's not it. Sorry to say, Trump is not it. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, Trump's not it. But like you said too, this whoever he is, he's going to be loved by all. He's going to be really, really generous. He's going to be really smart. People are going to look at him as a god, and so he's going to be really high in the political realm too. We'll see what happens. But as far as Trump, guys, I think it was an inside job for sure. Just the whole tactics and procedures did not line up to me. They waited to see, holy crap, is he shot or no? Okay, we'll act. Boom, boom. I don't know. To me, it was just a big front. It was bull crap. So I already knew right off the bat. It was why I watched it. I'm like, that was totally an inside job. Straight up.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, how the fuck did this happen? Like, it was wild.
And then hearing how far away he was, I'm like, no way.
Yeah,
no,
that's
way,
an experienced shooter. It's an experienced shooter. He's 20. Not saying that, young people can't shoot or anything. But this guy didn't grow up like shooting. Like a lot of people. Yeah,
well, not only that too. Like, what was it, 400 feet? Is that what it was? 415 feet?
450.
450 feet, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So it's like equivalent to like 250 yards, something like that. But it's
Yeah, that's all.
you know,
That's 2 football fields.
yeah, especially with the EOTech, it's pretty good. But I don't know, man. Like, yeah, to me, it's just a big inside job, dude. The whole, just everything. Yeah. So, yeah, to me, he needs to get rid of them and hire his own security detail if he wants to stay alive.
Yep, I agree. He should hire you. I nominate you.
Hell no. No, I don't want that job. He'd be like, "Here, Andrew, try this food before I do." Oh, it's poisoned.
Oh man, did you see his daughter Kai did a speech at the RNC and now fucking The View is talking shit about her?
Oh God, don't get me started on The View, man. Bunch of
Dude,
cucks.
yeah. Fucking A, dude. Like I'm so sick of them talking about politics. Like talk about fucking, your menopause and shit. Like and stay the
Seriously,
fuck
talk
out of the
about
politics.
how you got your freaking butt blasted. I don't care, whatever. Just
Yeah,
seriously, man.
oh
God.
my God, I'm so annoyed with seeing because I don't watch The View. I just see videos on TikTok about The View because they're so retarded.
Yeah, I
You
can't
know?
stand it. Like, yeah. To me, just something just needs to happen in the country. War, something. I'm sorry, but catastrophe needs to happen to get people's minds back right.
Yeah. And I mean, a 9/11 did that for a little bit,
Yeah.
for the most part. But
So
people were
sad to
like,
say.
they saw somebody in a fucking burqa or whatever. They were like, the enemy. That's the only problem that came out of that.
I know, right? Darker, darker. Jihad.
Jihadi, jihad.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Me too.
America.
Me too. Um,
Oh man.
Anyways, I think that's all that I have to say on this matter. Um, but I do think an attempt will be made again.
Oh
I'm
yeah, man.
interested to see if Kamala Harris is going to be the new nominee. Um,
Oh dude, she's. Oh.
but listen, this is another thing that has been talked about for the past
Mhm.
couple of years is that
Yep.
Biden's going to step down, Kamala Harris is going
Kamala
to
Harris
take
gonna run it.
over, and then she's going to run for the next president, or she's just going to finish out his term and they're going to nominate Michelle Obama.
Yeah, Michael Obama. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So that has been said 100 times over by conspiracy theorists, and look what's happening. Biden stepping down, Kamala Harris is taking over
Yeah.
currently. So
The
I
Miss
don't know.
Giggles. Yeah.
Yeah. I like her. I like how she talks. It's hilarious to me. She's so unprepared for everything. She's just like the passage of time. Now, what we got to think about is in the passage of time when you're doing this and, the passage of time. Like, it's
She's
very great
totally.
to think about the passage of time. And I'm just like, how many
She's
times are you going to fucking say passage of time? Just get to your fucking point. You're not saying anything. She talks a lot without saying anything?
yeah, man. Yeah, she freaking
Uh,
stalls for sure.
oh, fucking big time. Big time.
Oh man.
Montel Williams fucking side piece over there. But,
Oh god. Did you hear what
eh,
Joe Rogan was talking about her the other
no, I
day? He
didn't.
was like, "There's a state because you said like the basically a saying she says. She has like a lot of sayings, right? And
Yeah.
she says, "What will be, and will be with will won't be." And then yeah,
I've
it's like, what
never
are you
heard
saying?
that. What the fuck?
Yeah. I'll find it and I'll send it to you. You'll laugh, dude. And then he shows a recording of it. I guess Jamie puts it up and he shows it and she just says it so much. And the person who's interviewed is like, okay, let's come on, get it out.
Mm, mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, like,
Interesting times, man.
yeah,
Interesting times for sure.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, Drew, if you don't mind letting the good people know once again who you are and where they can find you.
Yeah, man. My name is Drewski. I, here's your daily devotion now. I run, I run a Cryptid Warfare and Conspiracies podcast. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook. You can reach out to me on TikTok as well. You can go on YouTube. We're there too. And you can write us an email, cryptidwarfare@gmail.com. You guys have any experiences, any stories you want to tell? You guys have any problems? Hit me up. You guys need any prayer requests? Write me an email. So hope you guys are having a good week. Love y'all. Yeah, that's what I got.
Nice, man. Nice. Do you mind doing a closing prayer for us?
Oh, 100%, man. I'll do that.
All
All
right,
right.
cool.
All right. Father God, I just want to say thank you, Lord, for letting us be alive today. And Lord, thank you, God, for the fellowship and just hanging out and information, that me and Kevin were shooting across each other, God. Lord, I pray for all the listeners in here, God, that if they're having a hard time, God, they're confused, Lord, or anything like that, God. I pray that you just give them peace, you give them wisdom, you give them discernment, God, and you just give them protection, God, and blessings, Lord. And God, also, I pray over our country, God. We are in a rough, confusing time right now, Lord, but I know in the end that you win, and that I know that it's going to get worse before it gets worse, before it gets better. So, I just pray that you just keep your hand over our country, over the people that you've let lead our country. Even though it's hard for me, I pray that you put the right people in where they should go, and that if there's a people that are teeter-tottering on the line, I pray that you just help them get wise and you help them change their mind on certain things that they're struggling with. And God, I just know that to me this is like one more chance, you're letting us have before we screw the pooch again. So I just want to say thank you for that, and I pray protection over everyone on here. I pray protection over Kevin and his family and his kids, Lord. Bless them, and that you give us a good weekend, God, and good rest of the week, and keep everybody safe and vigilant. In Jesus Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thanks, man. Appreciate that.
Oh, what's up, bro?
Everybody,
Kind of threw
thanks
me
for
on the spot.
listening. Yeah, sorry, man.
You good, bro?
I don't get a lot of that. I don't get a lot of that. So, a few people that have been on wait until I stop recording to do a prayer. And I kind of just
No.
wanted to capture one
Do it live, homie.
for the listeners and stuff. But yeah, everybody, please go check out Drew's podcast if you haven't already. It's very similar to this one. But I really appreciate you all taking the time to listen to this. This is going to be free, so this is going to be on the regular channels, the entire episode. This is not going to be a Patreon exclusive because I think it's an important topic. So I hope, regardless whether you're red, blue, green, whatever you believe, whatever you follow, just take care of yourself and your family, and I wish nothing but the best for you, for all of you. And yeah, again, I appreciate you taking the time to listen to this and or watching if you're watching on YouTube. But yeah, so please like, follow, share, subscribe, leave a rating and review if you feel fancy enough to do so. You can leave a rating and review on the website where the weird ones are podcast.com. That's where you can find merch. You can find the website. You can also find the story that I'm writing. A new chapter drops every Sunday, and if it doesn't drop on Sunday, it will drop on Monday. Sometimes life gets the better of us, and certain things just can't happen in a timely manner. So yeah, with all that being said, that's all I got for you. I hope you all have a beautiful day. So remember, question everything and stay weird.
I get up at 4:45 in the morning and I don't see a sign of the government anywhere. Every single day for 8.5 hours, I exchange my time for labor. I don't see the government anywhere, except for on Thursdays. Thursdays I get my paycheck. That's when the government shows up. That's when they feel they are entitled to split half of the currency I made for trading my time, my skills, my labor. This goes on throughout the year, where I'm responsible to keep records of all of this. At the end of the year, it's my responsibility to prepare all that documentation for them to review it. They then determine if their cut was large enough. If I don't meet their schedule, I face fines, fees, or the threat of being locked up in one of their cells. I guess some people call this taxation, but it doesn't meet my definition. To me, that sounds a lot more like fraud, embezzlement, and fucking slavery.